Hey everyone, it's Keith. Welcome back to another episode of Wisdom Share. We're thrilled to have you this week. We have Rob Hornbuckle with us today, and he's going to be talking about some really important and extremely relevant topics. We're going to start with attracting and retaining talented people. So, with that, Rob, if you could just introduce yourself to everybody and just let us know a little bit about, give us some context about your career and how that lends this conversation.
Got a bit of pressure. I got to be super relevant and important now. My name's Rob Hornbuckle. I'm currently CISO for Allegiant Airlines. I came from a lot of different industry verticals. I started in healthcare, went through telecom, business to business services, manufacturing, government subcontracting, restaurant, retail, and now in the airline. So there's a lot of different verticals that I've come from to see how they all attack these sort of topics and how they all play in. From a side point, it also a lot of business models to learn and ways to figure out how all that works.
So tell me about that. So soft skill, big topic, and I know it can be ambiguous, but kind of boil it down and like what is that? How do you think about that?
So soft skills boil down basically to empathy, which is what we were just referring to. Understanding how it plays in, understanding how to communicate. There's a lot of coaching things that are involved with it, and everyone is different. I happen to be a big fan of a mentality or a system called Clifton Strengths. And I run Clifton Strengths for myself. When I introduce myself to my teams, that's one of the things I introduce myself with. Is like, these are my top 10 strengths. If you have an understanding of them, you can get a good understanding of where my personality comes from, where my brain instantly goes. And I run the entire thing for my entire org. I have a matrix, if you will, that shows them all. And it basically lays out everyone's personality. It doesn't tell you necessarily what you're going to be good at, but it can tell you what it is easier for you to be good at. So you can do anything that you want, that you set your mind to. It's not going to say like you can't be a CISO, but it may say it might be more difficult for you to be a CISO unless you fully address these parts and aspects of your personality. And then using those as a basis to do basically the equivalent of executive coaching for everyone on my team that I can. It's hard to really go that far because that's very, very time intensive. I do it for my direct reports, like I was referring to. I don't really expect them to do it for the people that are underneath them because it takes a lot of effort and a lot of knowledge and a lot of working with it for many years to understand how to do that for other people. But from there, they can do little bits with the people that work with them, and they can come to me when they have issues around it, and I can help them work through different things associated. I also do outside coaching for this for certain individuals as well, depending on where their track is and what they want to do and what their personal goals are.
And do you spend a lot of your energy focused on building the strengths, or are you trying to help people identify, their blind spots?
So neither. The goal is it gives you a great understanding of someone's natural strengths. And then from there, you figure out what it is that they want to do. So you get to know them as a person, where they want to go, what they want to do, what they want to accomplish. And then based off of what those are, you either strengthen things that are strengths to help go down that path or help shore up things that could be a little more difficult for them to do. But you're not just going to blanketly decide to do one or the other and arbitrarily work on them with people. You need to target to make sure you're heading towards the goal that they're looking for. Goal-oriented persistence, basically, is figuring out what it is they want, figuring out where they want to go, and helping them to achieve what they want done.
And tell me, so how has this impacted your career in embracing this thinking, working with your directs this way? Can you?
For me, it's made me successful as a CISO. It's one of the things that I came to the realization of. So I actually got made a CISO at a fairly young age in my career, starting for a little mom and pop shop. I'd probably only been in security for about 5 years, and I was put into a CISO role. Honestly, way too early than anyone should have been put in that situation. And I cut my teeth hard. I failed in many areas. I was not they weren't really paying me, and that's why I was able to work out. I got so little money to do it. My payment was all of the lessons I learned in the training that happened. I learned two very valuable and important lessons that I pushed forward in order to make sure I was successful in the role. The first one is that I really needed to have that business knowledge and a business understanding along with my security knowledge and understanding. For me, that path started, I already have my master's in information security. I went and I got my MBA from Temple University as well. So I have 2 master's degrees now, one on both of those sides of the house. So I have just as much business knowledge as security knowledge. And that's important for that communication level and being able to talk with the other executives, boards of directors, things of that nature is where that really comes into play and is really necessary to prevent hitting that particular roadblock that you might not even see. It feels like an invisible wall when you don't understand it or don't know it that you run into. It's like, why is this not working? Well, it's because you don't have that piece, so you don't understand what's happening. The second is the emotional intelligence pieces and the soft skills pieces, which is basically what soft skills are, is emotional intelligence. I started doing EQ training. I picked up an executive coach. I went through everything to learn how it works and what it is, and to get to understand and know people just as well as I had learned technology, just as well as I had learned machines. And develop within myself those types of empathy, those types of things that I had basically been ignoring up until that point, to make sure that I had all the technical knowledge that was necessary to be as successful as I was in the early parts of my career. And between those two is the pieces that you're really needing to come together to do very successful leadership at an executive level within security.
Hope you heard a few things that triggered some new thinking for you. We do these conversations on IT topics weekly, so please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get updates on new content, as well as you can post comments and, more importantly, suggest topics that you'd like us to address. You can see that we have some pretty amazing resources, so please let us know how we can help you on your upcoming digital transformation and enterprise IT projects. Thanks very much. Until next time.